Satnam, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome back to another episode in our continuing program, Your Miracle Mantra Moment. And today we're going to start out in the way that we usually do, which is to chant 11 minutes of the shabad Dhan Ramdas Guru Jinsiriya Tine Savadia. And then after that, we're going to talk for a little while. So please feel free to put your comments in the area, in the comments area, and say hi and let me know where you're logged in from. And also, if you have any questions along the way, go ahead and put them in. And after we've chanted, then I will be looking at the comments and questions and try to include them as they are. Welcome, Margaret from Essex. And so as I usually remind you, this can be done, the chanting of the 11 minutes can be done just simply meditating, chanting with your eyes open or closed. Thank you, Kiran Deep Kaur. And also, it can be done with the mudra, which is the right thumb up, left hand wrapped around, right fingers coming up along the back of the left hand, held at the heart center, comfortable, relaxed, elbows at the side. And eyes can be closed or 1/10 open, looking at the tip of your nose. And doing it that way, it's a meditation to clear your fear of the future or anything to do with COVID-19, you can clear that. So I'm going to start now, and welcome to those of you who are watching, not when this was live. I hope you'll enjoy it and know that there are now almost 25 of these episodes, and each time we talk about something different. So if you want to go back and look at those episodes, they are available both on our Facebook page, Sikh Dharma International Facebook page, or you can access them through our YouTube channel. So for those people who you might know who don't want to be on Facebook, we have this option. And it's actually even being streamed there live right now as well. So we have both platforms available. People on both platforms are able to make comments in the live program. And anyway, and with Facebook and YouTube, you can also make comments after the live program, but I won't be able to respond to them so easily. So I'm going to start now, so you can set yourself for the meditation, and then we'll talk after that. sakaria Sikhi aate sangati Par Brahm kar naam sakaria Par Brahm kar naam sakaria Par Brahm kar naam sakaria Atal atao atol tu Kirantan parvariya Atal atao atol tu Kirantan Nam ਕਾਰਿਆ ਸੱਚ ਤੇਰਾ ਪੈਸ ਕਾਰਿਆ ਸੱਚ ਤੇਰਾ ਪੈਸ ਕਾਰਿਆ ਨਾਨਕ ਤੂੰ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਤੂੰ ਹੈ ਗੁਰ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵਿਚਾਰਿਆ ਨਾਨਕ ਤੂੰ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਤੂੰ ਹੈ ਗੁਰ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. Well, welcome to all of you who have joined us since I first started, and I hope that my intention with this program, with these programs, with this series of programs, was that the vibration of healing would spread around the world. That as people connect to this program, that they would feel that they would feel the connection in itself, and that could be calming, reassuring, and ultimately healing for the stress of this time. You know, that there are many of us who aren't sick, who won't get sick, and you know, the healing is still useful in that it will help us get through the stress of this time. Some of us may not acknowledge how that is, but I think a lot of us understand what that is, and notice how it's affecting us and those around us. So the more we can heal ourselves, the more we can calm ourselves, then that can ripple out through our families, through the people we know, and hopefully bring about, a wider feeling of calm and just reassurance. So I wanted to share with you another shabad. I've been doing a few of these shabads, and so that I can give Kid and Deep Core a little time to look it up. The shabad is Santo Ramdasaro Varanika. And it's also a well-known shabad composed by Guru Arjan, the fifth Guru. And he is in this shabad talking about the sarovar, the tank of water that Guru Ramdas established, and its healing qualities. And you can take this literally, or you can take it metaphorically, that Guru Arjan may be actually talking about the water there, but he may be also talking about the inner immersion in the amrit, the nectar, the divine blessing of connecting to that spirit within us, that infinite space within us, of healing. And so I'm going to go through this shabad and talk a little bit more in detail. I'll go line by line. But also, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the concept of the sarovar, meaning it's a tank, a water body, basically, a body of water. And that they existed prior to Guru Nanak even. And they are used throughout India. They were established for both practical reasons and for spiritual reasons. Many places of pilgrimage, holy cities in India, are established along rivers, and that it offers the chance to bathe in the waters of that river or flowing through there. But for places that weren't near to rivers, then having a body of water, a place that you could bathe, was a very practical thing, because otherwise it was difficult for people. And so as Amritsar was growing, past the time of Guru Ramdas, now in the time of Guru Arjan, and people are coming there and wanting to live there, then there was an increased need for places for people to bathe. And not just as a devotional practice, but also practically. People had no indoor plumbing back then. So even getting water that you might be able to use with a bucket to bathe with at home, it was not always so easy. And so having these places where you could go and dip, that was a very practical solution, and it allowed people to feel confident about moving to this new location. Oh, they have a sarovar. They have several. In fact, there are five that were established during the time of the Gurus in Amritsar, and that these 5 sarovars are still, maintained and used more nowadays as a devotional practice for dipping. And in fact, around the time of Baisakhi, which is usually it's in April, and it marks the birth of the Khalsa at the hand of Guru Gobind Singh, the 10th Guru. It is common that people will come to Amritsar to do this special practice of dipping in all 5 of the sarovars. And so they are a very cherished feature in the city of Amritsar, even today. There is a great story about one of these sarovars. So, of course, one is the main sarovar around the Harimandir Sahib, the Golden Temple, and that is, people think that as being, the epicenter of all things to do with Sikh Dharma, and that's true. But around the city, there are 4 more, mostly within walking distance, and that the practice is to dip in them. But there is one sarovar, it's called Santoksar, which was being dug at the time of Guru Arjan, the 5th Guru. And as they were digging it, they came across kind of a hut, cave kind of thing with a yogi inside who was meditating. Under the ground, this was. And so this yogi was in a state of very deep meditation. His breath was suspended, they say. And yet he was not dead. And so when the people digging for this tank unearthed this yogi, they went to tell Guru Arjan, and he came to look, and he was able to wake up, revive this yogi. And the yogi identified himself as being, his name was Santok, and so he is now referred to as Baba Santok. And that he explained to Guru Arjan that he had been given the hukam to wait until the time of Guru Nanak or Guru Nanak's descendants to receive that darshan as one final step in his progress to full samadhi, full release from the cycle of reincarnation. And that he had gone to this place to start meditating possibly more than 1,000 years ago, more than 1,000 years prior to the time of Guru Arjan, prior to this time that he was on earth. And so it is unknown how old he actually may have been. And so explaining this story to Guru Arjan, then Guru Arjan gave him his blessing. And at that point, then Baba Santok let go of his body and was released. He died in this human form to be born again with his soul in the infinite. And so it's an amazing story about this place that you can go and visit now, about the story of Baba Santok, who waited so long just to receive the blessing of the descendants of Guru Nanak, and how powerful that story is to remind us what a blessing we have received to even be aware of this path, to even listen to the words of Guru Arjan recited again. So I'm going to sing this shabad now, and then we'll talk a little bit more. it's been a while since I've played this, but let's see what we can do.
Karta purak kaloa valnavin majjan gura andarase jap har har til har har kil vikna se jap har har kil vikna se sandho ramdas saro जयकार जग गावे मन जिन्यारे फल पावे सही सलामत नाई आपन प्रभु संत सरोवर नावे सो जन पारंगत पावे Dayalu Bhagavane Baba Nanak Brahma Saranai Sama Chinta Kanadamitai Baba Nanak Brahma Saranai Sama Chinta Kanadamitai Chinta Ganadamitai Sama Chinta Ganadamitai
So this is the Shabad Santo Ramdas Sarovanika. And in the first line, Guru Arjan says, the Creator Lord Himself stood between us. I'm not sure that's the only translation of this line. But he goes on to say, Valana Vinga Hoa, and not even a hair upon my head was touched. And I think what the Guru's message here is that when we are in that alignment with the divine, then we don't have to stress. We don't have to be subjected to the twists and turns of fate. Rather, we can align through destiny and truth. So we don't even get a hair out of place. He goes on, Majjana Guru Aradan Andana Rase, Japa Hara Hara Kilavikanase. The Guru has made my cleansing bath successful. So dipping in this tank, my cleansing, my releasing has been successful. And through the meditating on Har. Har is that mantra, that universal mantra that expresses the divine energy that manifests continuously through all life. There is Har. Right? So as we meditate on Har, then our indiscretions, our mistakes are wiped away, right? Our karma is erased. And then, of course, the repeating line, Santo Ramdas Sarovanika, O saints, Santo. And you are the saints. We are talking to you. We are dialoguing together. The purifying pool of Ramdas is sublime. And he goes on, Jo nave sokulitarave udar hoa hejika. And this is the Rahau, this is the main line, the message is most important. Whoever bathes in this tank, in this nectar of Ramdas, his family, his ancestry, and his soul are all taken care of as well. You know, there's this concept that when you walk on this path of consciousness, that as you liberate your own soul, you are also carrying with you 7 generations back and 7 generations forward, so that as your good karma creates benefit for your soul, it also ripples through time back to those souls who were in your lineage before and those who will come after you to benefit them. Next line, Guru Arjan goes on, Jai Jai Kar Jagagave Mana Chindiriye, Falapave. The world sings cheers of victory. Jai Jai Kar. They're singing these songs of victory. And Manachindiyare Falapave, and the fruits of your mind's desires are obtained. That may be a little, need a little adjusting in the translation. I don't think the Guru is saying that whatever you desire comes to be. I don't think that that's the intention there, but rather that just you are taken care of. And goes on, Sai Salamat Nai Apana Prabhu Diaye. Whoever comes and bathes here and meditates on God is safe and sound. So kind of like with the and meditates, it's really underscoring the idea that you can't just take a dip there in the waters. Meanwhile, you're filled with negative thoughts, you know. You have to really be meditating in that divine consciousness as you bathe, and then that's the most beneficial. It goes on, Santa Sarovaranave, So Janaparam Gatapave. One who bathes in the healing pool of the saints, because now Guru Arjan is drawing our attention to the fact that this is not just Guru Ramdas's water tank. This is actually we all can claim ownership to this, that we have established it together through our collective endeavor, through our collective chanting and vibrating and meditating. This has come to be. And so whoever bathes in that tank created by you and me, the saints, that humble being obtains the supreme status. In other words, your soul is liberated. Mare na ave jai, hara hara nam diai. He does not die or come or go in reincarnation. So does not die, as we've talked this through in a few other lines. That doesn't mean that we all will have to die, but our soul is carried on. And in this line, he's saying, referring to reincarnation, meaning that we won't have to come back into another life, but we'll be liberated. Hara hara nam diai, he who meditates on the name of the Lord. Har, the name. Eo Brahmvichara so jane, he alone knows this about God, about the divine. Jisadiyal hoy Bhagavane. And this is whom God blesses with his kindness. In other words, knowledge, awareness, is in itself a blessing from the divine. The chance to understand something is the blessing. Then it's up to us to apply it. And that's the discipline. So we get blessed first, and then we have to apply the discipline. And then finally, Guru Arjan finishes with Baba Nanak Prabha Saranai Sabachinta Ganata Mitai. Baba Nanak, of course, in this way, he's also referring to himself, Guru Arjan, because he is saying, I am the continuation of Nanak, seeks the sanctuary of the divine. And so all of us who do that, then Sabachinta Ganata Mitai, all our worries and anxieties are dispelled. So that's the shabad. I wished I'd had a little more time. It went very quickly. So if you have any quick questions, we can just touch on them. So good to see all of you regulars here in the session. And Marissa, I see you're back. Great. Yeah, anxieties and worries. This will help. Mahan Sangeet, welcome. Amma Harjinder, very nice. Glad to have you with us. And Misty. Jasbir Singh, Margaret. Listening as you work, Misty, that's definitely a good way to go about working. And let's see, Judith. And of course, Kirandeep and Puff Singh. Thank you for posting that, Puff Singh. And Araceli, welcome again. I think you've been with us a few times. And Flory, welcome again. And Gulzan, Satkriya, Hari Singh from Costa Rica, Kirpal Singh, welcome. Yeah, a lot of our regulars. So I want to thank you all for joining in today. And we will have another session on Thursday. And then as you can see in the rolling text at the bottom, my guest on Friday in the Home Kitten and Chat program will be husband and wife, Simran Kaur and Guru Prem Singh. And they are longtime members of our Los Angeles community, teacher trainers, and musicians and healers, and I have known them a long time. And so I think we'll have a wonderful chance to talk. Hope you'll join us for that. In the meantime, I hope that you can stay healthy, stay safe, stay well. Many blessings. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Satnam.